sometimes you go to the hospital.
Yeah.
You see a doctor who is a Muslim.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Hadi.
Yeah.
And so because he's a Muslim,
Yeah.
I think he can help.
Yeah.
What did you do to him when he was in school?
That's the question.
Yes, what I said.
Yeah.
So these are some of the challenges.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the mosque.
Yeah.
It's another area where I think we could use to address our leadership positions.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
About the mosque?
Mosque.
I mean, come on. I mean, you know the role that the mosque played during the Prophet Muhammad time. It was a full institution. You get me right?
Everything.
Everything.
The mosque was everything.
Everything. But the problem is that, I mean, in our community, the mosques, I mean, we only use mosques for rituals. And if there is an occasion, that's it. But we didn't use, or we don't use mosque to be the kind of the sources of inspiration for the youth. To lead them, to force them for good, to master courage, to think critically for themselves, master courage to love, and master courage to hope.
Absolutely.
You get me right? These are some of the things that Prophet Muhammad did, and he inspired the youth, inspired Usama bin Zayd, inspired Musah bin Umair, inspired Ali bin Abi Talib, inspired Anas bin Malik, inspired Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali radiallahu anhum. He used that platform, which is mosque. And I believe that what we have to do is that we have to start organizing some programs in the mosque. It shouldn't be always the prayers. Yeah, that's the fundamental. You get me right?
This year, for instance, if in Ramadan, there's one thing wanting to use the mosque, you know, for something very dedicated.
Yeah.
It's another thing for the older generation understanding your desire to use a mosque for particular purpose. I was going to ask you a question. If you were to use a mosque in Asmasi Zongo, for instance, in Ramadan, and invite kids and show them a video in the mosque, imagine the kind of questions that will pop up. Baba Musa and I used Masallachi and I go to see.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. In Saudi Arabia, do you know what they do?
Yeah.
I mean, every mosque has its activities. You get me right? For instance, the Central Mosque of Accra or Central Mosque of Kumasi, they have their annual activities. They have halaqah for tahfidh al-Quran al-Kareem. They have symposium. They have, I mean, everybody who lives inside it knows that.
I'll get back to you.
Okay.
But right about now, let's take our Vox Pop went out and about, not in Accra, in Kumasi, KNUST, and this is what some Muslim students had to say as far as the Muslim youth leadership thing is concerned. Take a look.
One thing I've identified is that our country has a lot of potentials. We are seeing that the youths are more than ready to take up the mantle of leadership from the older generation. So it is a matter of looking into the interest of the individuals and nurturing the potentials from there, and from there they will be ready to pick up leadership positions.
What can make us good leaders, one key important is our attitude. We cannot have a leader without a good attitude. If you are a leader without good attitude, where lies your leadership? Because leadership goes with good attitude, and with good attitude, that is where you can relate with your followers. For instance, our president, Professor Atamels, he's a leader, and we are seeing good attitude and good character with him.
It's all about being able to see what the person has to offer. It's about time we look at what, most of the time, what the person has to give to the society. We don't really have to know what the person is getting, not the beneficial part, what the person has to offer the society when he is put in place. And another part is the sacrificial charisma. When a person has that charisma to sacrifice, to do something for that kind of a society or a nation as a whole, so you know that the person has something, a leadership skills.
Faith and then morality, as in having moral values in a person, because we need to look for people who are sincere and who have the passion to serve the country, actually, because you realize that most of the leaders we have currently, some of them are so much self-centered, they don't care about that. But if they had that inborn passion to help the community, then we will have to see that from their childhood, or as they were youth. So for us to look at good qualities in the youth, we should look for things like sincerity and good moral values.
But you have to portray good qualities, and you have to be very smart, try to interact with people, learn to understand people, and And you should be intelligent too. You should be intelligent. When you're intelligent, people will look up to you. And when you try to listen to people, open up to them, understand them, I'm very sure that you'll be identified as a good Muslim leader.
Coming from the educational point of view, a lot of our education is theory. There isn't any practical in it, because a lot of potential, to bring out a potential in someone, you have to give the person the avenue to display those things.
Alhamdulillah, it is more of trying to organize programs, setting up the national GIMSA, making sure that we restructure the national GIMSA very well, so that they will be in the better position to organize programs in which we will introduce the students into some of these leadership topics, leadership programs, so that they will be able to develop themselves to take up positions. The person must have the ability to have the vision. The person has the vision, and you see that he has the ability to see that particular vision through. Inshallah, he is qualified to be a leader.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Ikra. I mean, serious comments. If you're thinking that the Muslim youth yesterday is the same as today, then you must be wrong.
Oh yeah.
This is a new day.
Oh yeah.
With a new Muslim out there on the street.
Yes.
I mean, fresh ideas.
Oh yeah.
Fresh, insight.
Absolutely.
And outlook.
Absolutely.
And everything.
Absolutely.
Wonderful young men.
Yeah.
As far as leadership is concerned, do we have a born a leader or a made leader? Are leaders born or are they made?
Wow, I mean, that's a very tough question and very interesting question. I believe
or is it a mix?
It's purchasable at time. It's purchasable at time.
Okay.
I mean, you purchase it and you get it. It's all about the will that somebody has for change. You get me right? I mean, most of the leaders that we read about and most of the leaders that we know, I mean, at first their beginning was very humble and nobody realized this quality leadership in them, but they end up being a good leaders.
Absolutely.
It's the will and the challenges that one sees these need adequate attention. We need to have people that are willing to take action, encourage and compassion. That'll actually, then we have the leaders coming out of it. You get me right? Some of them were born naturally leaders.
Okay.
And some just got it alongside.
You acquire.
Yeah.
And then you eventually. Let me take a few messages coming in from Kin Plies Baranda. Says, my opinion is that leadership programs should be organized for the youth, for them to exhibit their talents. I think this concrete approach will make potentials identifiably easily by the youth. Lawa Damila says, our curriculum in the Makaranta, people have serious comments as far as the Makaranta curriculum. Let me take this coming from Isaac Wumbu Sam'an. I think workshops and other platforms be put in place in order to... workshop and seminars to put in place. On Facebook, somebody did a wonderful job. My photo, Baba Musa's photo, and Nadir Musa's photo, and then made some sense out of it as far as leadership is concerned. But we should be coming to Kumasi pretty soon, myself and Baba Musa and Nadir maybe, to do something as maybe some seminar, maybe some symposium. What do you think, Baba Musa?
Yeah, I believe we want to speak to the reality of those dear brothers and sisters who are wrestling and battling with the self-doubt, self-hatred, self-flagellation, self-violation, and self-destruction.
Okay.
You can see them in our community. Some of them completed school without a job, and some of them are fighting to fit into the society. So we have this. It's like most of the youth in our community are battling and wrestling with the catastrophe. So they need somebody to address them. They need somebody to give them hope. They need somebody to hold their hand and show them the right path. I mean, Allah wouldn't send any angel. We are the angel.
Absolutely.
You get me right?
Some of these guys are not really bad as we think they are.
Oh yes.
All they need is some sense of direction.
Oh yes.
And it's up to some of us to actually come up and say, this is the leadership.
Absolutely.
This is the direction we want.
Absolutely.
So we'll just show you the way.
And what you've been doing for all these years, you don't know how much it affected somebody.
Thank you.
You know how much changed somebody. So keep on doing it.
Thank you. Unity. Unity.
Yeah.
It's another area I think we should be tackling. I don't know how much time I have, but in 1 minute maybe let's capture unity. Some of the concerns the young ones raised in their message here or in their comment here was that of unity. The lack of it.
Unity.
What should we be doing as far as unity is concerned?
I mean, unity is very important.
Very important.
I mean, the fundamental question, before answering that question, the fundamental question that all of us have to come in terms with is, what kind of person would I be between womb to tomb? What kind of choices in terms of character, in terms of integrity and magnanimity? What kind of legacy that I would love to leave behind, so when I die, people look at my remains and corpse and say that he lives alive.
That's right.
You get me right?
Well, you begin to think not in the cycle.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That would push us.
That's right.
I mean, all of us would love to die and people say good things about us. You get me right? But it's all about the will.
Absolutely.
You get me right? So we have to break this artificial barrier that divided us.
Absolutely.
You get me right? To come together as one people, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described in the Quran.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Alasan Abdullah, right? The Muslim youth are prepared to take up leadership roles when given the chance. One thing our others should not forget is that every successor needs the support and encouragement from his or her predecessor.
Yeah.
This is very, very powerful.
Very powerful.
What do you say to that?
Oh, I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
I said it earlier that, I mean, all this energy that we possess and all these qualities that we possess need to need to be accompanied with what? By the wisdom of the elders.
Absolutely.
I mean, we have to go together. You get me right? They are our fathers. We love them so much and they love us very much. But the problem is that we confuse how to come together and how to do something good for the community. I mean, when you go to community, everybody's talking about change. But I would say that, I mean, that change shouldn't be something symbolic. I mean, it should be something that everybody will see it on the ground. Because all these symbolic gestures is misleading too.
Absolutely.
You get me right?
Absolutely.
They say that example are go card of justice. If you go card of judgment. If bad example, bad judgment.
That's
good
right.
example,
That's
good
right.
judgment.
That's right.
So that's it. So it's very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Very, very, very important. So since Islam is based, this one is talking about submission and unity, which I think is a factor that we've been talking about it earlier. But Kumasi people must watch out. We're coming to Kumasi to do something serious on leadership. Accra, we're moving Accra to Kumasi pretty soon. Watch out. I wouldn't announce a date, but we're coming to Kumasi to do something very, very serious as far as leadership is concerned. Myself, Baba Musah, and Nadir Musah. See the name? Baba Musah.
Baba Musah Saleh, yeah.
And Nadir. We're coming to Kumasi to do something seriously as far as leadership is concerned. But keep your dial here on TV3.
Oh, yes.
Watch it out. We'll be coming. Ikra is coming to Kumasi very soon. Muhammad Bagya says, this can be done by teaching them leadership role and by relating it to the Quran and Hadith, and above all, through guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling, Baba Musa.
Yes.
Guidance and counseling. Mentorship, guidance, counseling. Mentorship, guidance, counseling. I think it's about time we put something down.
Oh, yes.
You know, we hardly have counseling services when it comes to marriage.
Yeah.
We don't have counseling services when it comes to education. The choices,
choices
that our young ones should do.
Yeah.
And in the tertiary institutions.
Yeah.
Muslims, we don't have it. It is so because we don't have a common agenda as a people. I said in one of my series, we seem to be the only people who are agendaless. We don't have an agenda. So the vision is seriously blurred. As individuals, we know what we want. But collectively as a people, the agenda.
That's the problem. I mean, they say that every 1,000-mile journey starts with a step.
That's right.
You get me right? So we can do it. We can do it.
Your final word?
Oh, actually, my final word, I mean, is to the youth.
Okay.
We are the future leaders. And for us to be good leaders, we need to be empowered. We need to be educated. We need to be guided. You get me right? I mean, we need all these qualities in order to be a good leaders that we want to be in our society. And you know what? It's not about you and me. The leadership that we're talking about actually shouldn't be the kind of leadership that restrict oneself to me and mine, but to ours. Every individual in our community should be part of this leadership that we're talking about. It shouldn't be something selfish. That it's all about me. No, it's not about you. It's about the community. It's about us. Yeah, it's time you stop me, and start using the
The Sufis would say the I.
Yeah. It shouldn't be us. You get me right? That everybody in the community also.
I think individualism and selfishness is something that has robbed us greatly of impacting onto others.
Yeah.
You know, I am a Zungo boy.
Oh,
we all are Zongo boys.
Yes.
And we know that...
We're very proud of that too,
We know this tendency in the Zongo
to
keep to your own self what you have. And I think it's about time we come out and share, we come out and give, instead of come out and take.
We have to be courageous on that.
Right.
Because most of the folks out there are talking about being courageous, how courageous they are, but in actual fact they are not. Because for you to be a courageous person, you have to tackle those indecency in our community. You have to tackle some issues that will bring people together. You get me right? That's what makes you a courageous person. But not, showing some indecency and then you call yourself a courageous person.
Conversation would continue, not in Accra, but in Kumasi. When we come, I think we'll have a nice platform to continue discussions. We'll continue when we come to Kumasi, myself, Baba Musa, and Nadir Musa, to continue with the leadership factor. But before I wrap up, let me say, Obama, the wife of my dear friend, Alaji Samson Kwakwa, she lost her mother a week ago, was the funeral at Kofrodua on Sunday, and she wants to say thank you to all of you, herself and her husband, Samson Kwakwa, wants to say thank you to all of you who came and was a part of it. And also, tomorrow, Saturday, is Jamal Baba's 10th anniversary when we lost Ustaz Jamal. And we're doing that tomorrow in Accra. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure. But we will continue in Kumasi like that.
Leave nothing to chance. For life, education, end-of-service benefits, and pension plans, make it Glyco Life.
Glyco, official insurers of TV3.